Matt Schumacher, and today we'll be talking to a couple of soccer players. But before we get started, let's take a look at a report from Ari Castle.
The Butler men's soccer team has a lot to look forward to.
I definitely think we're a better team. We were very young last year, and we've gained a lot of experience, learned a lot of areas that we needed to improve, and we've made those improvements.
Over the past few weeks, the Bulldogs have played well against Big East opponents, including 2 teams ranked in the top 20 in the nation. But the real challenge, their first inaugural season in the Atlantic 10 Conference. And the team is convinced that they can compete.
I think we're going to be very competitive in the A10. Obviously, it's a new conference, playing a lot of new teams, different styles, different players than we're used to, which gives us an advantage. So we're really looking forward to going in there and playing some soccer and showing them what these other teams, what we're all about.
Conference play starts on October 5th, where the Bulldogs will play Dayton. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Ari Castle.
I'm here with 2 of our fine young soccer players, Jeff Atkins and John Dawson. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Of course, thanks for having us.
Now, Jeff, you're a freshman on the team, and that comes with a lot of responsibilities.
Right.
And one thing you have to do is learn some of the names of your fellow teammates.
It's been a problem with me so far.
Okay, I have heard rumor of this,
Yeah.
and so I thought maybe today, to start the show, we could give you a little bit of a quiz.
All right, sounds good.
So I'm going to give you some last names, and hopefully you can give me the first name.
All right, sounds good.
All right, to start off, we'll toss you an easy one. Fricky.
Brandon.
Okay. 1 for 1 so far. How about Holt?
Andy.
Good, good. How about Oldham?
Austin.
Okay, he's 3 for 3 so far. John, you got any others you want to toss to him?
I'm really impressed, I'm going to be honest. What about Swika?
I'm going to go with Matt.
Good.
Okay, guys, he's 4 for 4. He's got it down. That's good to see. Now, John, Brandon Fricky told me before the show to ask you a question about this Club Submarine. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Club Submarine, as we know it, it's Club Sub. Some of the civilians might know it as Club Submarine, but it's our locker room, and it's been known to get a little reckless down there. We got a new sound system. The rumor is you can hear it from up in the office, like on the main floor of Hinkle, because we're down below in the basement. And we strictly play only Tomorrowland videos or pure dubstep. And there's a button on the system that says Super Bass, and it'll vibrate your heart. It's pretty intense.
Is that right?
It's pretty awesome.
Now, why such a specific music selection?
Really, 99.9% of our team loves it. But really, it just gets us hyped. It's what we listen to before we go out to training. We practice at 7:30 a.m. A lot of us are pretty tired.
Right.
So there's nothing like some Tomorrowland at 7 a.m. to get your juices flowing. And especially before a game, it'll really just get you hyped and get ready to go out there and do the job.
Okay, now for those of us who don't know what Tomorrowland is, could you explain real quick?
I mean, it's something that I think everybody should experience at least in Club Sub. But it's a music festival in, isn't it in the Netherlands? Is that right? Yep. In the Netherlands, it's crazy. You should look it up on YouTube. It's really, I can't do it any justice. I think we should look it up on YouTube.
All right. Well, thanks for giving us a little bit of an inside scoop on Club Sub.
It's great. You're more than welcome to come.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, can't wait.
Now, Jeff, what has it been like for you to come in and play right away as a freshman? Because you've gotten a lot of playing time so far this season.
I mean, really, so far here at Butler, I really could ask for nothing more than like the players on my team really kind of fit me in well. They kind of really gave me a good greeting, and I mean, obviously I've done what I had to do to not necessarily earn my spot, but I mean, I feel like I've impacted the team as much as I could.
Sure, absolutely. And how do you think you've been able to make such an immediate impact coming right out of high school?
You know, coming here at Butler, I really expected nothing less of myself to come here and make an impact. I mean, I came here for a reason, and I mean, obviously job's not done yet.
Right.
But, I mean, I expect to do much more than I have, but obviously I've had a good start, and I plan on keep going.
Sure. Now, John, as a senior and a leader on the team, how would you say that Jeff and some of the other freshmen that have been able to step in and make an immediate impact have kind of taken on responsibility this year?
You know, as a team, it doesn't really matter what year you are. If you can get the job done, you're going to get the job done. But we have full confidence in the guys, whether they're freshmen or whether we don't even know what grade they're in, like SAS. As long as you get the job done, we all have faith in everybody. But, Jeff's done a really good job. Mitch has done a good job. Caleb's done a good job. Our younger guys are doing a great job mixed with the older guys, and we're really clicking on all cylinders.
Sure. Now, John, also, you guys are coming off of a tough weekend.
Yeah.
You guys played St. John's and South Florida, both top 15 teams in the country, and you played them well.
Right.
Both ended in ties, which has to be frustrating. Take me through that weekend, and both of you can answer this. Take me through that weekend and just sort of how you can maybe go from a tie to getting over that next hump and getting victory.
Well, I would say South Florida, we were all over them to begin with. And 2 bad goals happened. And really kind of set us back a little bit. I feel like if we would have kept it going, we wouldn't have gave up these 2 defensive mistakes.
Sure.
It would have been no doubt in our mind we would have definitely won that game for sure. And St. John's as well, we were up for more than half the game.
Mm-hmm.
And just a bad defensive breakdown took place, and it was all over from there. But I feel like coming out of the weekend, we should have had 6 points instead of 2.
Right.
So.
Now, Jeff, in that weekend against South Florida, you guys were down 2-1 late in the 83rd minute, I think it was,
Yeah.
and you came out of nowhere and put away the equalizer. Can you take me through that goal?
Well, Austin Oldham got around the corner, played a nice ball through, and I was hanging out top 18-yard box in the corner, and it kind of just snuck through all the defenders, and I just took a touch and put it back post.
Yeah.
And had a great celebration over with Shark. It was nice.
It was cool.
So what was that celebration like?
Well, scored the goal, ran to the bench, and it was raining on a beautiful grass field, and I just decided it was the right time to slide on my stomach, and everybody kind of just huddled around me. It's a great feeling.
There you go. You got to have fun out there.
Yeah, for sure.
I was in there.
John, you're always known for having fun, but you take your job as starting goalkeeper very seriously. Take me through kind of your responsibilities that you see for yourself this season and kind of your role on the team.
I feel like my role is just to be not necessarily the voice of the team, but just, always give out directions. And when things go bad, when we give up a goal, a lot of the guys not necessarily look at me, but, it's my job to get the ball out of the back of net. So they're always looking, not necessarily at me, but back there. And if my attitude goes bad, the whole team's attitude goes bad. And so I've taken upon myself this year to give out directions, but always try to keep a positive attitude and always move forward. Because, everybody makes mistakes, but it's what you do afterwards that really counts. So we just try to stay forward and stay positive and keep the ball out of the back of the net and keep us in games.
Sure, absolutely. And just to kind of talk a little bit more about this past weekend, what do you guys take away from playing such great competition so well?
Right, yeah. We really hung with them both games. And the thing we took away the most is, Jeff alluded to it. We gave them 2 bad goals against South Florida and a questionable goal against St. John's, but we didn't quit, especially against South Florida. We were down the whole game. We came back to get a draw. That was big. And then against St. John's, we fought even though we were down or we drew. We still fought the entire game. It just really shows that this year, we had the taste of a bad season last year. This year, that's not what we want. So we take away this weekend that we can play with anybody in the country. And realistically, even if things go bad, we're always ready to continue to keep fighting and never give up.
Sure. And you bring up last season. Is that in the back of your mind? Jeff, you're a freshman, so you didn't experience that team from last year. But does that kind of add fuel to the fire for you guys for this season?
For me, it does. It was a bad year. Not all of it was bad. There's some highlights, but when you look at the record, 7-8-1, that's just something you don't want.
Right.
So for me, personally, it's a lot of fuel for the fire. Yeah.
Sure. And you guys are off to a great start this season, that's for sure. And tonight, you guys play Evansville at home on the bowl. What are you guys looking forward to in tonight's match?
I think we're just looking forward to kind of feed off from the weekend. Now that we know that we knew we were good, but going into the weekend, there was somewhere in the back of our head saying oh, there's a top 15 teams, right, or whatever. But now that we know that we're competing, we're up there, I think it really lets us know that we can do it. We're really capable of
Sure.
beating some really good teams, and Evansville should be a good one tonight.
Absolutely. And so you have Evansville tonight, and then this coming weekend you have Ohio State, and then after that we're into October and into the A10 season, which is going to be great. It's the inaugural season for Butler athletics in the A10. Both of you guys can answer this question. What are you guys looking forward to most about moving to the A10 conference? John, if you want to start it.
I really think the Horizon League was great for us, but I think that move to the A10 would really be nice because I think there's going to be better quality of teams. It'll be exciting to play Dayton on a regular basis, Xavier on a regular basis, and then it'll be exciting to be able to play VCU and George Washington when we go out there. I know this year they're coming here, but we're going to Temple and St. Joe's, and that'll be fun to travel like that. But I just think the quality has now really gone up a notch, and I think we're excited about that because we can finally, we'll match that and play even better.
Sure.
I think my main goal, as a team, is kind of like leave our new imprint on the A10. We're a brand new team, and we want to really, first season, we should probably prove something to everybody that obviously not only that we belong here, but that we're gonna dominate here. So.
For sure. And how do you think you guys can do that? I mean, you guys obviously have lofty goals for the season. You want to come in and make an impact. How do you do that?
I mean, we just keep doing the little things right. We stay talking on the field. We stay accountable for everybody as a team. We don't let each other down. And just most importantly is we keep the ball out of the back of the net and we continue to score goals. We work hard all the time, full 90 minutes, sometimes a full 110, and just take every day as a chance to get better.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And Jeff, for you, this is your first year playing, as we talked about earlier in the show. What are maybe one or two goals that you have, not only for yourself, but also for the team, looking down the road to the end of the season?
I mean, obviously, personal goals, as in, goals and assists, and, it's really being, a impact player, and as well as being a great team player. I mean, I don't want to successfully get my goals without winning. You know what I'm saying? I'd much rather win than score the goals. I'd much rather be on the bench and winning than scoring goals and not accomplishing anything. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. John, how about you?
Just the obvious one, as many wins as possible. It'd be great to get every shutout possible. We have two. I think we can get another one tonight. But I mean, personally, idealistically, it'd be great to make the All-10 team, A10 team. But as long as we can win the conference, that's my main goal. So whatever gets us there is what I want to do.
Absolutely. And guys, real quick, favorite celebration?
I think I just proved it this weekend, to be honest with you.
I think
the slide.
The slide.
The belly slide.
I've never done it before, but I think I pulled it off.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't get to celebrate.
Get to join in, though. So.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming today. They had some fun this past weekend. Hopefully they can continue it again tonight at 7 in the bowl against Evansville. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Matt Schumacher. We'll see you later.
Hi, I'm Marissa Johnson, and this is your Bulldog Blitz scoreboard. The football team will be back at home this Saturday to take on Campbell. It'll be the first Pioneer League Conference matchup of the season for the Bulldogs. Kickoff is scheduled for 12 p.m. at the Butler Bowl. Last weekend, Butler fell to Dartmouth 35-7 in its first ever Ivy League game. The football team is now 1-2 on the season. Women's soccer will be celebrating Senior Day in its last non-conference match before Atlantic 10 action begins. They will match up against Old Horizon League opponent Youngstown State. The match is set to begin at 5:30 p.m. The Bulldogs are coming off a 2-win weekend with victories over Eastern Illinois and Ball State. Last week, the men's soccer team was in Akron for a weekend invitational. The team took on two nationally ranked teams in South Florida and St. John's. Both matches went into 2 overtimes and ended in draws. Butler is now 1-1-4 on the season. The team will have a few days off until it plays Evansville at the Butler Bowl on Wednesday the 26th at 7 p.m. Volleyball will begin A10 conference play as they travel to Dayton and Xavier this weekend. Friday the 21st, the team will take on its first A10 challenge as they face Dayton, starting at 7 p.m. The Flyers are currently ranked number 22 in the nation. Next, the volleyball team will travel to Cincinnati to play Xavier on Saturday the 22nd, starting at 3 p.m. The team is coming off a 2-1 weekend at the Butler Invitational, where they beat Southeastern Missouri and Kent State. They lost only to UC Davis. Men's cross country will not be racing this weekend after a second-place finish at the Indiana Intercollegiate Meet. There are 27 teams at the race. Sophomore Tom Kerr finished third in the individual portion, and 3 other runners placed in the top 15. The women's cross-country team will be at the Toledo Interregional Bubble Buster on Friday, September 21st, starting at 4:30 p.m. The women's tennis team will be taking the court again after winning a tournament best 19 matches in its fall season opener. Senior Brittany Farmer and juniors Caroline Hedrick and Stephanie McLaughlin combined for a 15-0 singles and doubles record. The team will go to Normal, Illinois this weekend to compete in the Illinois State Invitational. The men's tennis team also began their fall season with a successful weekend at the River Forest Invitational in Illinois last weekend. Winning for the Bulldogs were Pollock Batakaria in number 2 singles and number 3 doubles with Tommy Marks. Billy Weldon went undefeated, capturing the number 5 singles championship. The team will compete in the Purdue Invitational this weekend. Also competing last weekend was the softball team as part of its short fall season. The team went 3-1, losing only to Ball State. They had a 6-0 win over Marion, a 3-2 win over St. Joseph's, and a 7-4 win over Lakeland to finish up the weekend. It is another busy week for Butler Athletics, so be sure to go out and support your Bulldogs. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Marissa Johnson.